So is it a good thing or is it a bad thing that Rihanna is staying out of this war that is swirling around her? Or by staying out of it, will that just add to the backlash against her? Joining me tonight from Chicago, attorney Tamara Holder. In New York, Jane Velez Mitchell, host of the fabulous show Issues with Jane Velez Mitchell, seen weekday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on HLN. So here's the thing. I cannot imagine that the backlash against Rihanna for not speaking out and for being back with Chris Brown is helping her at all through what has to be the most difficult time in her life. Jane, what is the deal? Does everybody just kind of need to back off and let Rihanna figure out her life in private?
Not necessarily, AJ. This is the other side of fame. This is the side where everybody feels entitled to weigh in on your personal life, and they know all the details, and you don't have any privacy, and everybody's got an opinion. And it's not just the Oprahs of the world. According to published reports, her own friends and professional colleagues are urging her to cut this guy out of her life. Apparently, she is not listening. But there's an old saying, when one person criticizes you, they could very well be wrong. But when 10 or 15 people give you the same criticism, they are probably right. She should listen.
Well, the Oprahs of the world are speaking. We heard Oprah's words of warning to Rihanna. Ellen echoed a similar sentiment today on her show when she was grilling P. Diddy about lending his Miami mansion to Rihanna and Chris Brown. And I got to tell you, if you watch closely, you'll see Ellen did not at all hide her displeasure that Brown and Rihanna are back together. Let's watch that.
I think you were coming from a place of a friendship and of kindness and support. And it's just, it's hard for me, and I don't believe in judgment either, but I don't want any girl out there thinking it's okay to go back to a guy who hit her. I don't want any girl to think that.
Tamara, let me get your take on this, because is Rihanna, whether it's her intention or not, and I don't imagine it is her intention, but are her actions reinforcing for young women out there that it is okay to go back to an abusive relationship?
Absolutely not. We're talking about a young girl here. We're forcing her to be a role model in a situation where she maybe doesn't have everything figured out just yet. She is in a process right now of healing, and I see this every day in the courts. And I don't know if you know this, AJ, but 1 in 3 kids in her age group are in abusive relationships. So just because she's in a period where she's quiet and she's not talking to the media, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's reinforcing a position of abuse or domestic violence. We need to give her some time to heal and to figure out what she's doing and step back for a minute and just let it all calm down.
Yeah, see, I agree with you on that, Tamara, but I do think that by being back with him, and again, she's not intending to send this message, but that is how it is being read.
Absolutely, but remember, she's 21 years old, and she's a young girl, and we don't know what her background is. We know that violence perpetuates itself, and it's a cycle that we see in generation after generation. And so it's important that she gets the help that she needs, not in the media, not through Oprah, and not through Ellen and P. Diddy, but actual psychological help. Let's figure out what is going on first,
let's hope
and
that
then
is
we
happening.
can make our opinion.
Let's hope that is happening. We're also hearing from Denise Brown. Denise, of course, the sister of Nicole Brown Simpson. Denise was on Larry King Live last night, and she offered a startling reminder of how Rihanna is not the first person to be in the limelight and in a violent relationship. Denise spoke with guest host Joy Behar. Let's watch that.
You know, 15 years ago, Denise, people hoped a photo of your sister would stop this in a way. And yet here we are again. Here we are again. How do you respond to the fact that it doesn't seem to be improving?
Well, see, my whole thing, when this first started, my whole thought right away initially was, oh, my God, we didn't learn 15 years ago.
Jane, what do you think? Is Denise right? Is the Rihanna-Chris Brown mess just showing, hey, we haven't really learned a thing in the last 15 years? And does Rihanna have the power to change that?
Well, sometimes, AJ, I think we're going backwards, and that's because look at the society around us. There is violence everywhere. In the movies, on television, video games, the internet, it's getting more and more violent. So how can we expect young people who are constantly being conditioned by all this violence to behave differently? And remember, Chris Brown is a teenager. He is 19 years old. But I will say something very positive has come out of this. Women are speaking out, whether it's Joy Behar or Oprah or Ellen, all women standing up and saying, enough, we're not going to take this as business as usual. We're not going to take this sitting down. We're going to demand that this mentality of domestic violence as business as usual end.
Yeah, it's certainly shining the spotlight in the right place. Jane Velez Mitchell, Tamara Holder, I thank you both.
Thank you.
And now